I've been with my boyfriend for about 10 years.
10 years?
10 years. We don't live together. We started out long distance.
And you stayed long distance?
No, a little bit of background. We had a connection to each other when we were younger, like as teenagers, and we grew up in the same town. Our life took different paths. We both got married. We're in long-term marriages. We both found ourselves like single, reconnected, and, built a really awesome relationship, really long distance for about 2 years into that. This is a person that I love very much. I feel like I can talk to him just about most things, just about anything. We get along great. The situation is, we are now in the same city. We don't live together. I know that he would like to get married and build a future in terms of like getting married, moving in together, that kind of thing. We work opposite schedules is one thing, so we see each other mostly on weekends. But he has a adult son that his name's Carter, and he lives with his son. They live together, and the son is unemployed, has never finished high school. I feel like I keep waiting to see like what's going to happen here. Is this person going to get launched? How will that impact if I have a life with Jack, my boyfriend? Like, what's going to happen here? I feel like it's just this sense of anticipation. I keep wondering like what's going to go on. Now,
how old is this son?
He is almost 30. Yeah. And this is something that, when I brought up to Jack before, he would say like, as a young child, there was some situation in the schools, in the public school, kind of a poor public school situation that his son had. He was, I think, labeled as a troublemaker as a kid. When, I've like kind of given up sort of like suggesting programs or ways to help because I've put out a lot of stuff in the past. But Jack has expressed some disappointment with me in the past that I maybe didn't make more of an effort that, me to kind of like psychoanalyze his son, because he said that sometimes kids don't listen to their parents, but perhaps I might have an influence or insight.
Blair.
Yeah.
You love this guy, but you don't respect him as far as you can see him. And you're watching him out of his own guilt for what he missed when his son was little. You're watching a grown man completely and totally disempowering another grown man.
It's a turnoff, when I see that.
It's a tremendous turnoff. Don't blow by it. Don't blow by it. This is devastating for you because you came out of a long-term relationship, a long-term marriage. You invested 10 more years, and now you're thinking, what is wrong with me?
I feel guilty.
I know.
I feel like my problem is the boundaries, and yeah, and I don't know what to do. And I'm a parent. My child didn't go through a picnic either, but you know what? Launched, healthy, working every day.
Sometimes kids don't launch. Sometimes kids have to be thrown.
Right.
Because if a kid has a weightlifting accident when they're 9 or they're 14, just saying, hey, you never have to go in the weight room again, only guarantees that they will never get any stronger. It will not heal what happened when they were 9 or 14. And like you said, this is an it's just so disempowering because every day He's looking at that kid who everyone else said, you're a troublemaker, you're this, you're this, you're this. Now his dad is looking at him and saying, I don't believe you can either. I don't believe you can get a job and hold it. I don't believe you can figure out a way to pay rent. I don't believe you can go see a therapist that I'll pay for and you'll actually take your meds for a season. I don't think you can. You just sit there. And no, that's not attractive. Yes, that's disempowering. Yes, that's incredibly disrespectful to his 30-year-old son to think that little of him. But none of that matters. What matters is, you said, I don't know what to do. I think you do know what to do. I think you're terrified at the consequences of what you know you feel like you need to do.
I feel like, there's been, over this long period of time, I keep hoping like there's been like some coaching going on, or,
there's not.
I would rather like, don't see me on the weekend. Like, let's do something with, to help this, to help Carter, because like, this doesn't feel
it's not
like
happen.
It's going to change.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
So just fast forward. You're going to have a 40-year-old grown man living in your house. And you'll have a 40-year-old man that demands you do his laundry or make his breakfast or whatever things get to go on in that house. And you're going to have a new partner, a husband, that you will have been with for 20 years at this point, telling you we can't go on vacation, we can't go to these things in retirement because son XYZ.
Yeah, it does impact a lot of stuff for the future. And I feel like even bringing up the future, like I'm very goal oriented. I keep thinking like maybe in the future, like this is something that we could do.
I know. Did you hear what you're saying though? It's just like I just want to hug you. Because and you're not crazy for recognizing life is getting shorter by the day. And you're not crazy for looking and seeing, how this story ends. This man will
I feel like a bad person.
Okay, but
I'm like judging or something.
No, you're just looking at reality. And I don't know where this story in your body came from, that your feelings are somehow the arbiter of truth in the world, but they're not. Feelings' job is not to tell us the truth. It's just to sound alarms.
Right.
And your alarms are ringing so loud, you're trying to figure out which exit to run out of or which entrance to run into, and the alarms are just too loud. Everything feels heavy and it feels big. Was your divorce real bad?
It was really bad.
Okay.
And it was really bad. Since then I feel like my whole mission was like getting myself in a place of peace and security, and building peace in my home has been like the top thing, which is easy to do when you live, when you live alone.
Yeah, you've built peace through avoidance. And especially in the beginning, there's some really important value in that. Like when you get electrocuted a whole lot, it makes a lot of sense to not want to mess with electricity. But at some point, you have to decide, do I want to turn the lights back on or not?
I feel like I let my ability to let the light on when I let in this relationship with Jack, because I feel like he has been such a safe person for me, like emotionally, complete opposite of what I had before, and that's been the greatest thing about the relationship.
But just because it has felt good does not mean it's right long term.
Right.
Like if the boat sank and you just like flip-flop swim your way to shore, that swim stroke saved your life. That doesn't mean that's a good swim stroke for the rest of your life.
Right.
And I don't want to cast judgment on this guy. I don't know anything about him. His son may have incredible special needs and he feels frozen, he feels guilty. It is what it is. What's important here is not that y'all have different beliefs on stuff. My wife and I have crazy different beliefs on stuff, but you have very different values. And I don't know of successful relationships that don't share values. And deeper than that, you just don't respect the guy. And you're not a bad person. It doesn't make you judgy. It doesn't make you evil. It doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make you nagging. It doesn't make you any of those things. But this is that feeling of you establishing peace in the quote-unquote real world. That is, I'm putting up my boundaries, and my boundaries require nothing of you. But as for me and my house, we're not going to have a 30-year-old fully functioning adult living here without a job, without purpose, without expertise, because it's cruel to do to the 30-year-old to allow that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do cruel things. I've been through hell once before. I'm scared about a second divorce, even though you're not technically married, but this will be a painful divorce if you broke up today. And I want to have peace. Peace means I can hold my values. I can hold my boundaries. And I can hold them in your presence, not just avoid you. It's a Cold War, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Give me one other thing. Give me one other thing. What's one other thing that you struggle with respecting this guy about? Don't judge yourself. Don't judge. Well, just what's a thing you don't respect?
Yeah, it's hard.
Is it hard to find something, or is it hard to say it out loud?
It's hard to say it out loud.
Okay,
maybe.
You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it, but here's what I'm getting at. It's easy to focus on this big, big rock that is this 30-year-old man living in your boyfriend's house. And your boyfriend desperately wants you to join the clan. But that's not the only thing. This is the big thing. It might even be the easy thing. But there's other things, because these things don't happen in a vacuum. It's rare that everybody's in alignment on everything except for this one huge kaboom of a thing. Because if we're alignment on how we treat people, if we're alignment on what intimacy and honesty and vulnerability means, if we're aligned on both of us are trying to get to reality, if we're aligned on being able to talk about beliefs, then these big things aren't just still sitting there. And again, you can't change anything about him. The only thing you can do for yourself is to be honest about, oh my gosh, I wallpapered over this thing. I just drove by this thing. I didn't listen to myself on this one. I just was so focused on this one feeling I had, which was he's going to be there. This one feeling like I hate dating. This one feeling like, okay, I know he loves me. He makes me feel safe and I love him. And we're going to just ignore all this other stuff. And it turns out this other stuff is really, really big. I guess the homework assignment I would tell you is to write down all of the things that make you lack respect. And if you want to balance it out, to be fair, and just get it out of your system, because I know you judge yourself harsher than anybody judges you, write down all the things you love about him. Put those on a list. But I want you to be deeply honest. You don't have to do it on a public forum like this, but write down on a yellow pad, here's the things I disrespect about him. The way he treats me, the way he talks to my kid, the way he dishonors his own kid by not making him have responsibilities, and on and on and on. once you see the reality of what you write down, there's often a lot of clarity there. Maybe really painful, but there's often a ton of clarity there. Hang on the line. I'm going to send you a copy of Building a Non-Anxious Life. It's a book I wrote. I want you to read it and use that roadmap in there because that may clarify this respect and values issue in a pretty enlightening way.